Are ceilings real? In life, business, and entrepreneurship, music, entertainment, is there a point you get to and you can't go beyond that point? Yes, ceilings are real in life. Physical, spiritual, every aspect of life has ceilings beyond which an individual reaches, and from there, they can't go beyond that point unless they do something differently. Yes, ceilings are real, but they are not concrete. They are glass. What this means is that they can shift. Most individuals also in life hit a particular limit and they just see that everything they try to do, they can move beyond that limit. And then the question being asked is, what is holding me down? What is holding this business down? What is holding this career down from moving to the next level? That is the ceiling. But let's look at it. These are frameworks that can make you to break through setting ceilings. Let's say you've been making 10 million a year and then you want to move it to 20 million. Moving from one limit to the other, from one stage to the other, requires a different level of skill, and of course requires a different level of skill set and knowledge to break the ceiling. And that's why it is a glass and it can't be broken. These frameworks will help to break those kind of ceilings if you ever encounter them. These are the three types of ceilings that you need to break to be able to cross over to wherever you want to go, wherever is the next level in your particular space or your sphere. Number one, the skill ceiling. This is not spiritual ceiling. This is a skill. There was a time when I first started out as an entrepreneur and still working, keeping a daytime job and then working, the nighttime, the break time, and looking for a way to get clients for myself by the side. I just reached a particular point. I could not get more than ₦1 million. It was just like everything I did just stopped me at that point. In fact, it was actually at 930,000 naira at the time. And then I kept asking, why am I stuck here? Why can't I go beyond this point, right? So I started to network with other people in the industry, study what they were doing, what were they doing to move their business to make beyond that amount of money. And then I discovered that one, there was a skill gap. The amount of business they were handling that was bringing them things more than 900 level, the 1 million level, was not a skill I had at that particular point in time. And I was honest enough to understand and realize that yes, I had a skill gap that needed to be filled for me to move to the next level. Number two, systems meant what did I have in place to be able to handle bigger amounts of money. Another bottleneck is the more people you get, the more business you get, the more staff you hire, you have more problems to deal with. So how do you break that systems bottleneck? It is a big bottleneck in whatever sphere you are. If you're in the music industry, if you're in the IT industry, there are systems bottlenecks that you must be able to break before you can move to the next level. And that's increasing your skill. If you can't increase your skill, you must be able to hire someone with a higher level of skill on that level that you want to perform at, who will be able to take your whole operations to that level. And that is the systems bottleneck that must be dealt with. The number three bottleneck that must be broken to be able to cross a ceiling, which is a glass ceiling in terms of capacity. Now, if you were programmed to believe that the highest you can handle is at that level below 1 million or below a particular level, because that's the experience you have, for a long time you will be stuck within that space. And it's not a bad thing to be stuck within that space, but if you want to move, then your container, your capacity must be expanded. And how did I do that to be able to expand my capacity to handle bigger projects, bigger clients, bigger organizations? Was to go back to school. I had to go back to do courses that brought me into that space where I understood how bigger systems work, how bigger organizations work, how serving these bigger organizations required that extra level of skill and professionalism, and how to beat the expectation. It was just like learning a whole new course about what I actually knew, what I had been doing for a couple of years. But this time, because I wanted it to be on a higher level, I needed to go and get the requisite skill and expand the knowledge set. And once I did that, I was able to walk into rooms where they saw my capacity had expanded, and then they entrusted me. It's more like a thing of responsibility. It's more like a thing of building confidence in your client, in those you're trying to appeal to, or the industry, building that level of understanding, that level of knowledge and skill set that they can rely on you. Now, don't be disappointed if you are at a point where your career seems to have hit a ceiling, and most of the time, it is a combination of the three things. Remember, skill, systems, and belief. And on the belief, you can also have, say, spiritual, because the spiritual controls the physical. So when you understand which level of all of these you are at a particular time, then you can be able to break that ceiling, get the right skill, get into the right rooms, and of course, you'll be able to move. But if you're still stuck, don't be disappointed, because 98% of businesses in Nigeria are making below the 1 million. 48.8% of medium and small scale enterprises within the Nigerian space make below 1.2 million naira monthly. And businesses that make between 60 million to 1.2 billion monthly, they are just about 4%. So if you look at the overall percentage of businesses and individuals who run businesses that are stuck at less than $1 million per month, it is approximately 94%. And that means that if you're making that amount of money and it's not as much as you want to make, you're not alone. You're not doing badly. So if you want to expand to get to do the big numbers, then you have to expand your capacity, expand your skill, and of course, expand your systems. And of course, you'll be at the top, all things being equal. I'm Tito. I'll catch you at the next one.